G'day, it's Heath here from pickinglessons.com. Lord Inchiquin, it's such a pretty O'Carolan tune. In this banjo arrangement, we're going to actually look at basically a solo version of the tune for banjo. You've just heard it with the fingerstyle guitar arrangement from last week's lesson, but the tune for the banjo, the way we're playing it, you could play it on your own with no backup. The chords are a part of the arrangement, so the melody's through there obviously, but the chords are scattered amongst that. So it makes it a little challenging, a little different perhaps to what you're used to playing on the banjo, but it is a very pretty tune and it works really well. In a moment, we're going to have a look at part A, the first 4 bars of part A here in this lesson. But if you head on over to pickinglessons.com, you better get yourself a copy of the tablature that we're working from. And in the members section of the site, you've also got the second half of this part A lesson. And we'll also look at part B and break that down as well. So pickinglessons.com. Let's start out with a slow playthrough just of these first 4 bars, and we'll break down what we're doing here, look at the chords that are being played, and look how we're going to fit the melody amongst those. So let's start out nice and slow. Part A, first 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so there's part A, the first 4 bars of part A. Now, a couple of things. We're in 6/4 time. So as we're counting, we have 6 quarter note beats per bar. And so you might have noticed there when I was counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The pickup note at the beginning is actually on beat 6, and we'll look at that in a moment. The other thing is we're in the key of D. And so the key of D, the tuning we have for this arrangement, we have pretty much standard except for string 5. So string 5 is A, and then we have D, G, B, and D. So almost standard, but string 5 is on the A. So let's have a little look at what's happening here with the chord. So pretty much every third beat, we're playing a chord just to bring the harmony into the context of the melody. Okay, so let's have a look at the first couple of bars and we'll look at where those chords fit in amongst the melody. So from the pickup note, we have 4, 5, 6. So pickup note there on beat 6. So as we're counting it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is your pickup note. Then the first chord we have, it's a D chord, and we're playing the D string, that 2nd fret, and the high D. So finger-wise, you need to use your thumb, index, and middle to play those, and just pinch those notes. Then try and hold your chord as long as you can while you play the next portion of the melody. So we're holding that chord, playing that hammer on there with your left hand. You'll need to use your little finger over on fret 4. Now when we get to the melody portion of this, so the chords we're going to be playing with the 3 fingers. Some are 2-note chords, so you'll only be using the 2, thumb and a finger. When you get to the melody, there's a couple of ways of going about this. We can be using fingers, it's not very fast, so you could just use the middle finger for the, or you could use middle and index. A little bit of both, or you can use thumb and a finger as well. Doesn't really matter. I won't tell you which one to use, but I have given you a guide in the tablature. So play what's comfortable, but with the chords you'll need more than one finger. Sometimes you could strum it or brush across with the thumb, but if you pick out the notes you can get some nice clarity in it. There's another technique we can use in a moment. I'll show you while we're doing that. But essentially we're picking the chord, holding that chord, playing some melody, moving to the next chord, playing some melody, moving on to another chord, the D. On measure 2 there you need your thumb on the melody note. Sometimes it'll be obvious which fingers you want to choose, but if you're getting stuck with the fingers, follow my suggestion in the tablature. The main thing is pick the notes of the chord, and sometimes you can brush like this B minor. You could use your thumb. You could pinch those notes, so thumb, index and middle, play them together. Or you can kind of use this rake sounding technique where we separate the notes as well. So I have each finger, thumb, index and middle on the strings, and then kind of rolling across in a bit of a rake. Kind of sounds like I'm brushing, but I'm using my fingers to get that sound. So chord, melody notes, that's the theme of this arrangement. So from measure 1, without the pickup note, we have So you get the gist of how this is going to work. So there's your first 2 bars. Let's have a look at how to approach the next 2 bars. In measure 3, we have a G chord to a D chord. You can use your thumb quite a lot through the melody, but as I mentioned, choose your fingers on the melody notes that you wish. Just watch those chords, like that G chord. You could brush if you like, but it's probably easier to pinch them. Moving on to measure 4. Try to hold those chords for as long as possible so that you're supporting the melody with the harmony that we're creating by playing the chords. So the way that this is arranged, you don't really need any other accompaniment. The way I recorded it, I played it along with the guitar because I thought the guitar complemented it really nicely, but you don't need it. You don't need it to make it work because we have the harmony within the arrangement. So just one more time, listening for the first 4 measures. So you can hear that the chords scatter through there, and it's really pretty. I mean, it works really nicely. I've chosen to play up the neck there so it's a sweeter, warmer tone. You can experiment with your banjo where you want your hand position because that will affect the tone as well. So work on those first 4 bars, but then head on over to pickinglessons.com to keep working on the next half of part A. And remember that you can get yourself a copy of the tab there as well, and we'll then break down part B of this tune and have a look at what's happening there. So pickinglessons.com, I'll see you there.